What's up, everyone? This is Keep in Tune with Carl Schmidt, and I'm your host, Carl Schmidt. Welcome. And if you're just joining me for the first time, welcome, welcome. You get a double welcome. So, this episode, I kind of want to talk about a specific topic that is pretty interesting. So, I want to talk about the cues when you know someone is ready to leave, right? They're ready to end the relationship. So let's start off with my experience with past relationships. So, from what I've noticed, I've only been broken up with twice technically, and the one time it was kind of a weird situation. Anyway, that's a story for another time. So, one of the things I've noticed is that 9 times out of 10, they've already decided that they're done months prior. I mean, we're talking like anywhere from 3 to 6 months, I'd say, maybe longer. I mean, they could just be with you just for security, financial security, whatever that may be. But another thing, that I've noticed is that they stop planning things with you, right? They stop kind of coming up with ideas for future like trips or just future plans as a couple, right? They start doing things more independently. Maybe if, they are actually talking to somebody else that you may not know of, they are working on their fitness, trying to look better. They started getting new clothes and going out more and going out with their girlfriends. You notice that their friends don't truly communicate with you like they used to. They're not very cordial. They're just kind of like, I don't know, you'll catch some glances. Another thing I've noticed is that um, as you try to be intimate, to them it seems more like a chore. It seems like you're pushing a an act that they don't want, which in reality they don't. But they feel obligated to because they're still in the relationship with you. It's kind of sad, really. I mean, personally, you would think that if you're done with a relationship, right, and you are ready to go, wouldn't you want to just end the relationship? Like, wouldn't you just want to work on experiencing being single again? Like, I get it. Maybe the person was the breadwinner that you were dating and they were financially supporting you. But at the same time, it truly, like, it just blows my mind. I would have to say that it's very immature. I mean, realistically, if you know that you're done with the relationship, such a long time ago, right? You've had such a period of time where you're like, I'm good. Why haven't you ended it? Like, what's holding you back from that? I'd love to hear from, my female followers, or people who are just stopping by. If you're female, like, let me know. Like, and if you've actually done this where you were done with the relationship months prior. I think that it would be a great insight for everyone. I mean, not only just, men, but anyone in general. And some of the other things that you'll notice when they don't want to, I guess, be there anymore is they'll stop, coming home and talking about their day. They won't confide in you about things that make them, frustrated with the day. Or, if someone at work, like whatever her name was or their name was, started some problem or said something so out of pocket in regards to them, and their own thoughts on it, and they don't communicate that with you. It's kind of humbling. It's very depressing. And that's another thing. I mean, after, as a guy finding out all these things, especially with the previous relationship I was in, you truly kind of sit back and you're like, whoa, like how could someone be this way, right? Like how could they act in such a way? And they'll make all the excuses in the book, right, as to why they didn't break up with you when they wanted to the first time. Like, oh, I care about you. But it's like if you're already ready to break up, why Why care about my feelings? You're just extending the pain. There's no helping when that happens. Like, there's none. There's no helping someone after you find out that they were done with the relationship way long ago. So let's head on over to when a guy is ready to break up with you, right? Now, I don't know, I don't speak for every guy, but for myself, I will say that normally, it's kind of a within like a week, I would say, and that's giving it a lot. Like everything's kind of built up. Things aren't making sense anymore. You don't see yourself with them, and you might have lost the emotional connection and maybe even a physical attraction. And it's very, shitty, but it's also the truth. As time goes on, a lot of men, when they do want to settle down and be with someone, they tend to get emotionally attached, right? And I think that's important. You should be emotionally invested in the relationship. But once that emotional investment goes away, sometimes men don't even want to have sex. They don't want to do anything. There's no attraction. They don't want to do anything with you. They don't want to be seen out in public with you. I mean, they would rather just be themselves again, right? Just be a single guy living their lives. Another thing that, you know, I would say I felt when I was going through, the motions of about to break up with an ex, you get annoyed. You sit there and you kind of like analyze everything that they do, and you're just like, that is so annoying. Or they could say something and it's just so out of pocket that you're like, what the hell? This is annoying. Like, you're annoying the shit out of me. Like, I can't do this. Like, I'm done. So it's more or less with men, just kind of like a snap of the finger. Like, they've kind of been like, you know what, I'll get over it. I've been single before. I've gone through breakups. I've broken up with people before. They're pretty much checked out. I mean, personally, I know like probably like a couple weeks. You're kind of like, I would say 2 weeks max. You're kind of like, yeah, I don't feel like doing this anymore. Like, it's not really my thing. Like, I love this person, I care about them, but I'm not in love with them, and I'm just not emotionally invested anymore. So it's like, why waste my time? Men are opportunistic when it comes to that, and if the opportunity to be in a better mindset or space comes along, then they're going to do that. That's it. But if they do love you and they are emotionally invested, they'll stick it out. I mean, good men will. I'm not saying all men. There are some really shitty men out there, and you don't have to tell me, okay? I've met my fair share, and prayers to the women that get with them, because men like that, even if you're a good-hearted man, no matter what you say, they're not going to listen. They're just stuck in their ways, and until something bad happens or something drastic changes them, nothing's going to change them. So you have to be very wary to what to look out for, and that's going to be another episode moving forward down the line. We're going to talk about what to look for when you start talking to a guy, and how to navigate that water. Same thing with I'm going to go with what I look for when potentially looking to date a woman, because it's very important to know what you want. You have to have boundaries. You have to have certain, I guess, criteria. Now, I'm not saying that they have to hit every wicket on your list, but I will say you have to understand that you need to be able to accept what you're willing to accept and what you're not willing to accept. And that's, again, leads into boundaries. So let's break it down. So women, they tend to be over it months prior, a lot longer time. A lot of their excuses of saying, I didn't want to hurt you, I care about you. It's like, if you cared about me, you probably would have pulled the band-aid off and just let it go, right? You would have ended it right there. But I digress. They will stop communicating with you. They'll stop talking about their day. They'll start going out a lot more, stop planning things with you for future activities. And you'll tend to kind of just fall off, and you'll notice it. You'll see that, like, oh, she's not as loving and she's not as like attentive to me and my needs, and yet you're being attentive to theirs. So, but you also have to understand that there is other factors that come into it. The guy who that they're dating could be doing something that caused them to want to end it months ago. But I will say, let's just say in general, the majority of the information I'm putting out here is that if everything's been going all right, but they've kind of just lost emotional attachment and like all this stuff, it's usually months prior. And then with men, you have they get annoyed with you over the littlest things that you complain about. They tend to kind of pull themselves back as well, maybe talk to you less as well. They will realistically just kind of figure it out within a couple weeks, like 2 weeks, at least from my experience. It only took me like 2 weeks. You know, and we had that mentality, like for me at least, I want to end it now so you can heal through it sooner than me carrying it on further. And then my unhappiness will leak into the relationship and then we'll both be unhappy. It's a lot easier said than done to control that unhappiness, especially when there's no emotional connection and stuff like that anymore. But if there's an emotional connection there and love and stuff like that, then I myself, and I'm receiving what I need and I'm giving you what you need, then it's smooth sailing from there. But yeah, so men, women, this is what this is what I've noticed, and this is what I've done, as a guy. And I hope that you were able to get a little bit insight on, things that I've experienced and things that I've witnessed. And if you've witnessed similar things, please, let me know in the comments below. If you think some of the things that I'm saying don't seem to be as accurate as you would say they are, or there's something that I'm missing, go right ahead. I look forward to getting those back and forths with you guys. On top of that, don't forget to like and subscribe to the video. I truly appreciate everybody that's been stopping by and watching. You guys are absolutely fantastic. It means the world to me for your support, and I truly hope we can continue doing this. Right now, I'm just getting a slew of videos out to build up the playlists for my page, but we're going to work on a release set of days, right? So we may do like once a week or potentially twice a week, depending on my schedule. I'm looking forward to the next episode, and looking forward to seeing you guys pop back in here. All right, I love talking to you guys. I love expressing these things that I'm talking about, right? And I think it's important. I think it's something that with the society today we need to understand, and we need to kind of break through these barriers that we're getting put into. Like it's becoming a very interesting dynamic dating right now. And me being 28, I do want to have a family. I do want to have kids moving further down the line. So I would really love to figure out how to fix this dating lifestyle that we have right now. It's extremely depressing, but I digress. So remember, guys, if you want to stay in tune, you've got to keep in tune with Carl Schmidt. I'll see you guys soon. Take it easy.